My name is Katie Woodford. I am one of the managing partners at WSM Law. In that role as a managing partner, I do everything from practice law, I have clients, to dealing with the day-to-day operations of the firm. And that kind of entails anything from talking to and working with the associates, the managing attorneys, dealing with the financials of the business, accounting, banking, all that fun stuff. So my role is kind of a little bit of everything, I guess. That's a good way to put it. So the mission of WSM Law, from a legal standpoint, it's to provide the best services we can to women going through divorce and custody battles. We understand as lawyers who practice in this area that women have issues that are different than men, so we kind of hone in on what women deal with going through divorce and custody issues. From a employer standpoint, our mission is to provide our employees with really the best work environment that we can, from the standpoint of we realize that this is a tough practice area. You're dealing with clients who are really going through some of like the toughest days of their lives, the toughest circumstances of their lives. They're fighting about all the things that really matter and that are the most important in their lives, and they have a tendency to sometimes take that out on their attorney. So as employers, we want to provide our employees with the support that's necessary to kind of deal with that. And I guess provide employees with the support in knowing that no matter what they're going through on their cases, they always have us as employers to help and guide them through that. And there's a team, and that's kind of our mission, is to provide our employees with a supportive team that's going to help them through all the difficult cases that they have. Women going through divorce experience things a little bit differently than men. They have different challenges than I think men deal with. I think one big one is that this is becoming, I think, different as time goes on, but women typically have a more traditional role in that they're staying at home with kids, taking care of the house, and they don't have the same career development or career opportunities that men typically have. So women going through divorce, they're very concerned about when this is over, how am I going to take care of myself and how am I going to take care of my kids financially, right? So that's very different than men, who are typically more focused on how do I protect what's mine, right? So when we're dealing with our clients, especially when they're coming to me and saying, hey, like, he makes all the money, like I can go out and get, a part-time job, or, a job making money, but not enough to support myself and my kids, like, am I going to be okay? So that's really one of the big challenges that women deal with in divorce, that we try to focus on and kind of give our clients a full support system of, this is, the divorce process, this is how it's going to be after, this is what your life is going to look like, so that they have a little bit of comfort knowing that even though this divorce process is going to be something that completely changes your life, you're going to be okay, and we're going to make sure that you have what you need to take care of yourself, and just give them that comfort that is unique, I think, to women. I think that working for WSM is unique and special because our focus when it comes to our employees is making sure that they feel supported and that they have a team behind them. Our goal is to make sure that they always know that regardless of what the problem is, they have a team and support behind them that will help them through whatever is going on. I think that's different than a lot of other firms who will just hand you a caseload and clients and say, okay, figure it out. We never want our attorneys to feel like they're in a position where they're on their own. As employers and attorneys who have practiced in this area before, we realize that this is a tough practice area. Clients can be challenging, cases can be challenging, and we want our attorneys to know that they're supported no matter what's going on in their cases and no matter how hard the situation is. I also think we're a little unique in that if you come on, as an associate, you're not capped at being an associate. You have the opportunity where if you want to do something more or do something bigger and you like what you're doing and things are going well, we're opening branch offices in really cities all over the country. So if you want to move somewhere and open an office, we'd love to give people the opportunity to do that. So there's definitely some growth opportunities with WSM, and with the managing attorneys in their own offices. I think it's very unique in that they have a sense of autonomy. They run their own offices, they have their own employees, and we're more of the overhead in the sense that we deal with the financials, but they have all the freedom in running their own caseloads, which is, I think, really cool. And they also have, support from us. So they have the autonomy of running their own offices, managing their employees, managing their caseloads, but they have us in the background supporting them and really doing for them whatever they need, supporting our managing attorneys in really whatever way they need. The managing attorneys have the opportunity to be as successful as they want to be. It's really on them to bring in the business and make money. So if they're motivated to, go out there and get a bunch of clients and have multiple associates, they can, and we're happy to help them do that and accomplish that. I think at WSM we have a lot of opportunity for our employees, both associate attorneys and managing attorneys. On the associate side of things, we start this as a pretty 9-to-5 type role where if you want to have that role, that's what you have. But if you are motivated to do more, you want to bill more hours, then we're going to pay you more money, right? So you can start at the normal 9-to-5 and there's room to work more and earn more. And if you're motivated to be more than just an associate, then we'd love to give our associates an opportunity to develop into a managing attorney, which would entail them deciding, picking a city that they want to open an office in, and they can go there, open an office, and kind of grow their own office. The managing attorneys is an exciting role, and I think there's lots of opportunities there because you basically run your own office, right? And you have us supporting you financially, but there's a lot of autonomy in you being able to run your own office, have your own employees. And the way that this is compensated is that you get a percentage of what you're collecting. So what you're making is based upon what you're able to bring in. So there's a lot of control also on how much money you're able to earn for yourself. If you're motivated to make a lot of money, you're gonna make a lot of money. I think someone should open an office, a WSM office in their city, because this is a great way to take control of your career and your life. You have the opportunity and the ability to run an office, have employees, make as much money as you want to make based upon our compensation structure. So, I mean, it's a win-win, really. So I think at WSM, we pride ourselves on really focusing on the flexibility of our employees. We treat everyone as adults. We want people to feel like they can have a life and do what they need to do as long as you're hitting hours, bringing in clients, making yourselves money, making us money. We're not going to micromanage what you're doing and when you're doing it. We have generally like a 9-to-5 type schedule, but we understand life happens, stuff happens, before work, after work, during work days, and we're not going to give you a hard time if you have things going on during the day that you need to take care of. So that is something that we consider, I think, to be very important, that our employees have some flexibility, and we make sure that our managing attorneys know that life comes first and it's a balance.